Tri-weave titanium-coated armor plating. Nice. Unless you know exactly where to shoot.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're taking a look at 10 video game characters that really ruined our fun with great games. The games are still great, but we would really love to erase certain characters from them. Before we begin, we publish new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Kronika, Mortal Kombat 11.
Regardless, your allies are gone, while mine remain to defend me. Finish!
Fighting against a time god is absolutely something fitting for a franchise like Mortal Kombat. The IP is already ridiculous with its mix of ninjas, robots, mythical creatures, and the like, but Kronika was just stupid in the worst ways. All she does throughout the entire game is threaten, intimidate, and find a way to ham-fist time into every other sentence. If you were a smart villain and a real force to be reckoned with, you would have reset everything as you have done several times before the second anybody opened their mouths about things feeling familiar. But no, now was the time to talk smack, wave hands around an hourglass, and just get super egotistical. Wow, I feel so intimidated. You showed up for the 4th time just to say, you can't defeat me, and then vanish. Wow. Ashley Graham, Resident Evil 4.
I'm under the President's order to rescue you.
What? My father?
That's right. And I have to get you out of here. Now come with me.
For a time, Ashley was arguably the worst part about RE4. We could easily say, oh, it's because she's an escort character and escort characters suck and call it a day. But it isn't just the fact that we have to protect her. It's the fact that she goes down so easily, so comically easily, that you'd think she has zero skill in self-defense. Basically, if an enemy gets close enough to her and she takes a hit or two, you're done. It's an instant game over. Other times, you may notice her AI just does not work. Like, at all. And that'll result in her getting killed in some of the dumbest ways possible. Yeah, she's an idiot. So thank Capcom for remaking the game and allowing us to direct her to hiding spots.
Come on. Let's go home.
Sounds like a great idea.
P3, Atomic Heart.
Would you care for some more soda, comrade?
Atomic Heart isn't exactly a bad game. There are some good ideas and some not so good ideas in the game that made it a major letdown in 2023. But the worst part about the game is the very character you control. P3 is so obnoxiously rude that it makes it hard to want to progress the story. If he isn't spouting a smarmy quip, he's being flat out mean to other characters or acting shocked at things that aren't all that surprising. At some point, you gotta wonder if he's just arrogant or outright stupid. Or maybe both. Layla Hassan, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay, let's start her up.
Whereas P3 is just obnoxiously rude at the most inconvenient times, Layla is just a walking ray of sunshine. Hey, just like me. You could pick several moments between Origins and Valhalla, but Odyssey is where Layla is at her worst. She spends the entire game being a smarmy jerk to everyone around her, deliberately ignoring Abstergo as the prime threat, and even manages to get her friends killed. Eventually, she starts making Desmond Miles seem like the more interesting hero of the modern day segments. Here's hoping the next hero of the modern day segments actually has some character outside of being a smartass or a miserable douche. Basim was a good start, but who knows what the plan is anymore.
It's real. I made it.
Chadley, Final Fantasy VII Remake.
My name is Chadley. I'm an intern for Shinra's Research and Development Division. I hope you'll be interested in helping me with my research.
For as great as Final Fantasy VII Remake was, Chadley was the one glaring problem many players had with the remake. This guy just does not know when to leave you the hell alone. It's always, oh, I need more data, go do this thing. I need more data, go do that thing. And it's always at the most inconvenient of times. Why Tetsuya Nomura felt his addition was necessary is beyond us, especially since Chadley wasn't even in the original Final Fantasy VII. Couldn't we have just shoved all this into a general challenge list instead of this dweeb?
If you're willing to try, I'd appreciate the help.
Frey, Forspoken. Despite what some grifters may tell you, Forspoken does have a lot to like between the world, the combat, and the different powers you can wield. It won't strike a chord with everybody, but for some, it's pretty cool. But Frey, the main character, is definitely going to make the game tougher to sit through. You know how people complain these days about Marvel-style writing? You know, the usual dialogue and delivery that's like, did I just do that? Did I really do that with my mind? Or, well, that happened. Or, he's right behind me, isn't he? Well, Frey does have tons of moments like that, and they are far too frequent. Eventually, you might wind up just skipping cutscenes or muting them entirely.
Thanks, Professor.
I told you to call me Vambrace.
The Calypso Twins, Borderlands 3.
Well, I've taken your powers. Might as well finish you off.
Tyreen!
Fine.
Much like Forspoken, Borderlands 3 has some redeeming qualities, but the gameplay is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. When you pay attention to the story, you'll find the Calypso Twins to be some of the most insufferable villains ever conceived. No exaggeration. The cringy jargon, the snarky punk attitudes, the fact that they're frickin' streamers of all things, very much feels like they were written by old people. How do you do, fellow kiddos, indeed. It doesn't help that they appear just as frequently as Handsome Jack did in Borderlands 2, if not more. Gearbox, never bring these characters back. Never. Never ever. We'll give you a pass for Aya, not for these two.
I don't care! I'm gonna take what's mine!
The Narrator, Biomutant.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the bright and better path moving on.
Look, Biomutant is a cool game. I still firmly stand behind that. The powers, the mounts, the environments, the boss fights, there's a lot more to love here than our previous two entries. There's a lot of imagination on display. Unfortunately, some of that imagination gets too excessive in being unique with its story and terminology, which is what ends up making the narrator pretty annoying to listen to. There are just way too many nonsensical terms being thrown left and right. You can at least distinguish what these terms mean, but did we really need to get all Dr. Seuss with this? Really? Frey, The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword isn't really among the best Zelda games, but it isn't downright horrible either. It's kind of in between, really, and it depends on how you like your Zelda games. But just about every player, no matter what they prefer, can agree that Frey is a major detriment to Skyward Sword. The number of times she will interrupt everything is excessive to such an absurd degree that Navi seems less needy. And half the time, the crap Frey interrupts you for is already something you figured out on your own, or something you already knew long before she said anything. In other words, she is a prime example, a living embodiment of video games holding the player's hand. The Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight.
Keep your guns trained on him. If he even looks like he's planning to leave that room, open fire.
A common complaint about this game is how the Batmobile was integrated into the game, but honestly, the Arkham Knight himself is what makes the game a total slog to sit through. Dude, can you say anything outside of calling Batman old? Say anything! A swear word, something crass, steal a joke from some stand-up special you watched, I don't care. But no, every call is the Arkham Knight just mocking Bruce and constantly referring to him as old man. Gee, with that tedious kind of speech, I wonder who could possibly be behind the helmet. Certainly not a former boy wonder from years ago, right? Wow, who could have guessed?
You
did this to me. I'm sorry. You left me to rot in that abandoned wing of Arkham for over a year! With him.
What's a character that ruined a game for you? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to MojoPlays.